Well, you know, we're sure, they just, I guess, he had three, what, he had been married 3 times.
Okay.
One, Karen said
Okay,
she
it's
was.
7:00, we'll call the meeting to order. The location of the fire exit doorways are in either end of the hallway in case of emergency. The AED machine hangs on the wall directly across from the door. Please turn off all cell phone and pagers. Clerk, please call the vote. Oh, I'm sorry. Roll call.
Harold Lot,
Here.
Rocky Ellsworth,
Here.
Norman Vaz,
Here.
Ed Hay,
Here.
Jonathan Vogel.
Here. Okay, give you a minute to check the minutes of October 16, 2023.
Make a motion to approve the minutes for Monday, October 16, 2023, as written.
Second. Motion made by Jonathan Volker, second by Rocky Ellsworth, to approve the minutes of October 16, 2023, as written. Clerk, please pull the vote.
Harold Lot,
Aye.
Rocky Ellsworth,
Aye.
Ed Hay,
Aye.
Jonathan Vogel.
Aye.
Oh, I think I forgot Norman Vaz.
Aye. It's okay, I understand. Okay, we'll move down to our public hearing. Would you please show a proof of publication? Okay, thank you, Cheryl. Okay, Jeff, Peggy, and Ann Peter, 14 Lake Road, would you like to come tell the board where your location of your shed?
Oh, it's adjacent to a stone driveway. It's on the south side, or it's actually on the west side of the property.
And you moved it correctly from the driveway up front, you moved it back.
I never moved it. I presented that on the drawing.
Okay.
That
Why,
it was
right, now,
adjacent to
but
the
the
stone.
plan,
I'm sorry?
the plan show it up front, but you're moving it back to where
Yeah.
the stakes were.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, what construction would it be built?
As far as built in place, 2x4s, 2x6 rafters, following the same pitch as the roof, the same siding as the house.
Oh, it all would match.
Yep.
Pretty close to it.
Yep, exactly.
I see where the stakes were Saturday.
How high will it be at the peak?
We're only allowed 8-foot walls, but it's a 6/12 pitch. So 6 inches and 1 foot. So if you take half the span of 6 foot.
Is there any other questions from any board members? Would it be utilized for extra storage?
Yeah, there's a lot of outdoor furniture that we rent storage in Rockport that we would like to just get rid of that storage area in Rockport and just utilize the shed.
Okay. Okay, at this point in time, open up for a public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak for or against this proposal, please give your name and address.
My name is Patrick Palinzi. I live at 16 Lake Road, East Fork, right next to Jeff and Ann to the south.
Okay,
Okay, before I start, I would like to present the board with some photos that I've taken. Would you guys like a copy? I'm here to discuss my concerns with the proposed associated structure, placement of the structure, and code variance on 14 Lake Road, East Fork. In addition, negative impacts on my home value, views of Sandy Creek, state woodlands, and neighborhood green space. I will show 3 existing associated structures on said property as we meet tonight to discuss a 4th proposal for yet another associated structure to be built when the code states that only 1 associated structure is allowed. So I'm going to refer to the photos now. The first 4 are of the existing pavilion, shed, and boathouse. If you focus on the boathouse, it would be the 4th picture. I would like to call your attention to the full view of the boathouse. This structure is approximately 520 square feet with approximately 8-foot high ceilings. The roof reaches out over Sandy Creek and is almost the full width of the property, blocking desired views of Sandy Creek and the island contained within the creek. These views and others of this type are desirable factors why individuals invest in homes in this area. We all moved into this area because we enjoy nature and outdoor activities. The next 3 photos are views from my kitchen window showing view of a proposed shed placement, utility trailer, empty boat shelf, marina channel, and the desired view of state land woods in the background. The placement blocks desired views of neighboring green spaces, marina channel, and the state woodlands. I'm just giving you a chance to
Okay.
catch up or look at the pictures. Okay, the next 3 are views of neighborhood green spaces, marina property, state woodlands, which are in view whenever leaving and returning my home. So when I look out, I see these green spaces. These are desirable views. This structure is placed where they're proposing. When I come in, I'm looking at a 20-foot shed with 32 feet of wall space that I have to look at. 20 feet down one side, 12 feet across the back. It's 32 feet of wall, plus the roof. Okay? Same with the boathouse. I'm looking at 52-foot length roof on one side. Okay? This is a big structure. It's not, as you can see, that's a big structure. So these 2 views are negatively impacting me when I look out my house to enjoy the property that's around me. I have to see these 2 big structures. If this proposal and code variations are allowed, again, I will be looking at 32 feet or 256 square feet of shed wall and associated roof on my properties, west side, and 52 feet of boathouse and associated roof on the east side. These views, again, would greatly have a negative effect on my property value. People don't want to look out their windows and see the backs of sheds, as I'm sure you wouldn't like it either. Just in closing, I would ask the board to consider my concerns in the number of associated structures currently on the property when deciding on this proposal. I have one other question. How many structures are going to be allowed on this property? It's only 0.28 acres. 0.28 acres. That's 12,400 square feet roughly. How many structures are going to be on that property? Because showing the stones, I'm not going to guarantee it, but I can foresee Jeff and Ann coming again to the board to put a structure on top of those stones. I live next door to them for many years, I have a little bit of insight onto how they think about things. Okay? So I know they're gonna be coming to, I won't say I know, excuse me. I feel they will be coming again to the board to put a structure over the top of those stones. It's my
When you
presentation.
say stones, you're referring to this one.
Correct, with the trailer and the boat on it.
Now, those are his stones.
Oh, that's this one.
That's why they get you in.
Picture direct you affect the most is probably this one. This one is just west
Yes, it
of
shows,
where
it
the
shows
pole
the,
is from.
it shows the
This
stakes.
is where the stake
Yes,
is, right here.
yeah, I see the stakes.
Okay. Right, you can see the two red stakes to the west side. Okay, anything else, or is that your basic?
That's my basic, I would have thought they would have looked at a different location for the shed. Maybe not as big, but there's, should be room. They could combine the pavilion on the side of their house with a shed to accommodate their needs of distance or square footage. But to put it there, I think it just is a negative for me, but also the fact that there's already 3 associated structures on that property. When are we gonna go by the codes, I guess? And, you know, I mean, granted, there's always situations, but you can't just keep putting buildings on a lot that size. I would think the town would agree to that.
On the way out, when we left the premises, I did notice, quite a few structures, basically all over the place down there, by other homes.
At the other end of the property. There's
Would
one,
be
there's
south
one
of you,
quadrant,
would be
Be
right,
south,
net,
yes.
net south of you.
correct. Correct.
I
How they
lost track
got,
of-
how they got permission to do that, I have no idea. I'm concerned about what affects me directly. I try to be a good neighbor, I don't do things to upset them, except, it seems like I can't do anything without upsetting, except, it seems I can't do anything without upsetting them. I have been very considerate of them, I had a project done by the state, I went to their house, and sat down with them, I explained everything to them. And now, I'm faced with this. Now I have to come before the board and argue for my property value.
Okay. Is there any location that would satisfy you in any way down
They
there?
could put it on the north side of the house, in front of their pavilion, their second pavilion.
Be honest, I didn't even look at that. The north side of the house was very tight. Well, they're all tight
Well,
down
they
there.
park two cars wide over there.
Every,
Yeah, well, like I say, they park 2 cars wide over there, so it's not that small.
So really, we do block the view with our cars in the driveway where that sheds things out every day.
The cars are one thing.
I know, but there's just,
A
you're blocking
blank
your
wall
view.
like that
They're blocking
is
your
different. they're not blocking my view across the creek, and you know that. The elevation of my kitchen window is above your car. I can see plenty of things. I can see my doctor that's there. Come on,
You know, come on with you, just.
okay, we're gonna get off tangent.
I figured that was gonna happen.
Well, this is important stuff. They have another location, they have a possible other location, not there.
This building that are they to put in, would you, do you think they're well built? I mean, or to look at them from the pictures, they look like it was built decent, not shabby.
Well, they didn't build it, they remodeled the boathouse. They didn't build it, they were there previous to them.
Probably been there for 40 years.
If you remember Lenny Romer, he put that up. So, Jeff he's a good carpenter. He's a good worker, woodworker. But to put that shed, and I'm sure he'll build a good structure, it's just the placement of the structure is my contention. They can have their shed, but give me my views, give me my open space. Don't block me with a wall like that.
Is there any questions from the board? Anybody else wishing? No, I don't see anybody else here. Okay. See, some of the things we've been looking at is with today's world, there's many steps, so we have allowed storages different places. Because if it's not undercover, it's bye-bye. You know what I'm trying to say?
I do, but they can accommodate that by adding onto that pavilion and build their shed there, and they can put all the furniture they need to put in there. I've lived there for 20 years. I think it would be hard to come up with a document that said there's been a theft there on our private road, even in the marina. When Mary Passarella had it, there was no theft, there was one incident where a guy took a downrigger weight off a boat. But I understand, I'm a reasonable person.
Well, Ford, what, this is kind of a tricky one because there are so many sheds down there all over the place.
Where do you see that?
Small structure to the south of you, my goodness sakes.
Where do you see that though?
The front lawn.
That's that, you're
I
talking
mean, I'm
about,
just saying.
you're talking
more
about
than
that
one
big
structure
Quonset
to
hut?
us.
You're talking about that green Quonset hut? When you come around the curve, he's got a Quonset hut there, it's a material Quonset hut?
Well, there's several smaller structures as you turn north, that's set on the property.
But
Not
there-
that concerns me with this, it's
Yeah,
just,
no, but I believe you look at those lots, there's two structures on the first, when you come around the turn. There's that green Quonset hut and a shed. Okay, an old shed. The next house doesn't have any, because their garage is right by the right of way. The next house has one shed. The next house has none, I have none, they have three structures. And the next house has none.
But your house, we gave you the permission to extend it lengthwise, your house is quite long.
Yeah, it's long, yeah.
It takes
But-
up
but-
there
But it's not,
quite a bit,
but it's not,
and it looks nice, don't get me wrong.
yeah, no, I understand, I understand what you're saying. And I said, I'm willing, you know, I'm a reasonable guy, why does it have to be there when they have room someplace else? And again, it's a fourth structure on that property.
My question would be, if they're before the board right now asking to extend their house in the west,
Yeah,
it's kind of.
That would be an option.
That's what we would go to next.
Is a garage.
There's a huge addition.
Well, that's why I'm just wondering how this would play out too, is, you know, they're adding an addition, I mean, it's kind of the same idea that they could just put an addition on their house, they'd still have to come before the board, obviously.
right.
That's another proposal, which could be a problem for you too, I would think, I mean,
Well,
I'm gonna say they wanted more living space, not even storage, you know?
Sure,
I mean, the same thing could happen.
exactly. But right now, we're talking about it,
Yeah.
a shed. And yep, I
I'm just
appreciate
throwing
that.
it out there.
Yep, I appreciate that. Sure.
Not that it matters, but Jeff and Ann, how long have you had the property?
17 years.
17?
And my roof, my structure, I live in less than 1,000 square feet, you know what I mean? So if you add up the roof shed of water, your watershed of roof, the square footage is much less than my neighbor. And that's a factor, it's a huge factor. In fact, he's discharging his water from his gutters onto my property. And I don't really appreciate that, but I'm not nitpicking. But that should be addressed by the board too, that you're not allowed to discharge your water from your gutters onto other people's property.
That's not a zoning board, a problem, that's something that is not there, that has nothing to do with this application.
Oh, yeah.
And we're looking only at this application and nothing else, so.
And I would
I
like to
agree.
respond to that.
Can we just stick to this application?
Well, I mean, he brought it up, I should have a right to respond to
But
it.
it has nothing to do with this application.
Okay, well,
This is just for a variance. That
okay,
this
okay,
Gutter, your, whatever
Yeah,
range running
okay.
web, that has nothing to do with this.
okay.
We're just trying to solve to see if
I
there's
understand.
anything we can do, that's basically why you're here.
Exactly. He said, a reasonable guy.
Moving the shed to the side. There's only, if you looking at this map right here, not the map with the dimensions on it. Between the house and the lot line, there's only 16.4 feet, so you can't be any closer than 5 feet to the house because of the fire code. And you gotta be, whatever the lot lines, so, I mean, you couldn't even turn that building 90 degrees and put it 12 wide and 20 long at that location up there, because it'd be right on top of your house. So I understand where you're coming from, but I mean, looking at this map, and that's not even, we couldn't do that, we couldn't make that change tonight, because that's not what's been advertised to address.
I have a question. Do you need the whole 20 feet in length, or could you do the 16 feet? Because if you did 16 feet, you
I
wouldn't
can do
need that,
16 by 16.
you wouldn't need that variance.
I can definitely do 16 by 16.
So now it's 16 by 16 instead of 12 by 16.
That's allowed under the code. 16 by 16 is allowed under the
Yeah.
code. You wouldn't need a variance.
So now I'm still blocked. Now I'm even wider, because he was 12, they were 12 before. Now
Trying to
I'm
work with
16.
that.
But he's taking the 20, I thought the issue was the 20-foot long length of the,
That's part of the issue.
okay.
It's the total wall that I'm gonna be looking at.
But under our code, if he went 16 feet, he doesn't have to come here for a variance. That's allowed under our code. Okay, so that they wouldn't even have to be asked for
So
that variance.
are you saying if he wants to go 16 by 16, he could violate the code for associate structures?
He's not, he wouldn't need a variance for that. He would need the variance for the other things. No, I'm not saying he can violate the code at all.
Oh,
Okay, I'm just saying he
Okay.
wouldn't
Yeah.
need that variance. He's here for 3 variances, it looks like.
correct,
Yeah, well, that would knock it down to 2 variances.
okay. Okay. I don't understand, if they park 2 vehicles wide, why can't they just make the shed a little bit longer? Not longer, incorporate that pavilion into their shed. Or
We're
put
just
the,
so close
or
to the other house. I mean, if you look at the
And-
other house,
your pavilion is right next to the house also.
I know, but it's open. It's not gonna be enclosed, where it's gonna be, I'm sure it's a fire hazard. I mean, we're a foot away from Angela's house.
Right.
What?
Wouldn't they be down to 1 variance?
Well, I was just looking at it because,
Because they wouldn't need the 50 feet variance.
right, oh, that's true, yeah.
And they wouldn't need.
Oh, so
the-
they moved it, so they wouldn't need the 50 foot.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm just reading what's on the
Right,
paper.
right, but I was,
Yep, yep. All right, so they just need the 1 variance,
right,
which,
for multiple structures.
right,
Okay.
because they moved it from up here to up there.
The problem is, he would be after that, because he doesn't want that location, period. Doesn't matter if it's 16 by 16 or 12 by 20.
It's the location.
Yeah. Just, it's tight.
Yeah, yeah, so that takes care of it. So it's just really 1, and you've already, yeah. Even from the satellite view, it doesn't look like there was any place else that could possibly.
Every board is the same people.
That's why I
Really
asked.
don't wanna put it in. Right, right.
The tools.
So, well, so, put it out there, and then really,
Just put it down as well.
that's really-
I'll just.
Yeah. Right.
You're gonna, within 100 foot of the
Ah,
that's what you're asking. So it started out with you contacted UDOC. These are the senders, photographs,
Yeah.
sketch. Take that, description.
It's time to get everything. So much.
They'll send you.
You wouldn't even know it at all.
I click on it, 4 pages. You know, 2 or 4, everywhere. Tools used, hand tools. No excavator.
Mhm.
Anyway, they approved it.
Yep.
So the town, they've got approved it within
I don't
100
think
feet.
I
Some
know.
other counties. Oh, she says,
Are they in septic or sewer? Well, they're sewer now, yeah, right?
You don't have, you don't have.
Well, they don't have
you
sewer
have to worry
now.
about you.
Oh, where's their septic system?
We have water.
Jeff, where's your septic system on your property?
It's in the backyard.
By the dock, so it's in your front yard.
Oh, front yard.
Water-
Yes, yes.
Waterfront property,
Yeah, I know,
the
that's
the
tough.
creek side is the front of the house. Even though when you
Normal
pull
people
in,
have,
you look
yeah.
at when you drive in off of Lake Road, you're looking at the back of your house on Waterfront property.
Okay, so it's in the front, so there's no way you could put the shed in the front of the house either. You couldn't even move it over there, because you probably would, over here, you might interfere with the septic system.
Yeah, we wouldn't want to put anything on the creek side.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's,
That's what I'm saying, since it's few plus and releasing.
There, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
but then you need the 50-foot setback or
You
no?
need it, and what it's given, we have that, that's it, it's posted.
Okay. All right.
The original was, it would be here,
Mhm.
so it's almost straight across.
Okay.
So if we go for, just to, I was taking like the lazy, easy way, shed, but if you would let us put an addition, I thought the addition would be so much harder to get variance for, or permission to do. I would definitely 1,000% prefer an addition.
If you
to the
want to put a
house.
garage on here.
I would love that, I would love that. I took the easy way out on the shed.
As long as you meet the side setbacks and all the other stuff, you wouldn't need any variances.
Awesome. So what do I have to do to start that?
Talk to
Sure.
Cheryl.
Yeah, we would, believe it or not, I thought that would be, as I say, I was taking the lazy, easy way out. I pulled into a parking lot and seen all these fine sheds, and I was like, geez. So then it was like, well, trying to get it down there at that time of year, when the road is so narrow, I was like, nah, that's not gonna work. We'll just build it. I'm a contractor, I have people, so we'll just build it. And placement was just, we'll put it there. You know what I mean? We never really, I mean, it's convenient to be there, but if they would let me go out, south of, or maybe west of my property, I would prefer that immensely.
I mean, you gotta get architects and all
Yeah,
that
we
other
have them at
stuff.
work. I've worked for the Chase Construction, they're
Okay.
CEDO.
You just have to talk to Cheryl.
Okay,
Get the
so
permits
I'll
and
be in touch with you.
architectural drawings and all that other stuff.
So
And we have,
the question is, are you going to withdraw this application?
I'm sorry?
Are you going to withdraw this application for?
Yeah, let's
variance?
withdraw the shed and then we'll go with the addition.
So if you want to make a formal application or make a formal statement to the chairman,
Yes,
that that's what you're asking for?
yes.
What's your opinion of that? I'm just trying to get a feel.
What's my opinion of that? Depends on how deep, how big of a garage they're gonna put on.
It's gonna be the same width as the house, 24 foot long.
So now they're going out beyond.
Well, you're beyond. How come I can't have the same house as you?
I'm not saying you can't.
Well, yes, you are.
No, I'm not. I said, now I'm trying to get it in I'm trying to
understand. If you don't want a shed, I'll do it.
Where he wants to propose the addition.
Well, yeah. there was
Jeff,
site
I'm
setback.
trying to understand what you're proposing, okay?
Yep, so we're gonna go 24 feet by 24 feet, which is the size of the house, it's the width of the house.
And if he withdraws it.
And we'll go up, because the standard garage is 24 feet
You
long.
go 24 feet, you're gonna be within the side setback.
No, not even close. Not even close.
24
My property-
feet wide?
My property line's on the other side of the house.
I'm talking about my
Which
property.
is long as
What,
it's
5 feet?
within the setbacks.
Yeah, your house is
Well,
very
if there's,
close.
if there's an
south
issue,
property.
then I'll jog it on, jog it on.
Hey, don't have to act like that.
No, I'm trying to resolve a problem.
Okay, but
If you say, you gotta hold
We're
tight to
trying
the
to work
setback,
with you.
we'll put a step, we'll step it towards, you know.
So Jeff, you are formally asking to withdraw your application for these variances at this time?
Okay, at this point in time, then I would ask for a motion.
Close public hearing.
Yeah. I'm about to close the public hearing. As of this minute, it's closed, the public hearing.
Okay.
We run into these things every once in a while to get a little different, let's put it that way. Okay, at this point in time, I would ask for a motion. He's withdrawing his application.
I'll make a motion for Jeff Megan and Peter at 14 Lake Road East Fort Road to withdraw their application for, multiple variances, for a shed on the property.
That's it.
Motion made by Carl Ross, second by Rock Ellsworth, to allow Jeff Megan and Peter a motion to withdraw this application for the putting of a shed, an agate shed onto the property. Clerk, please call the vote.
Carl Rock.
Aye.
Rocky Ellsworth.
Aye.
Norman Vaz.
Aye.
Ed Hay.
Aye.
Jonathan Vogel.
Aye.
Okay, Jeff.
thank you for your time.
Thank
Would you like your pictures back?
No, it's okay.
Good. You made a good presentation.
Yep, you did.
For nothing. Thanks.
All right, take it easy.
I will send you guys an email tomorrow with information.
Okay, awesome, thank you very much. sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate it.
We appreciate it.
Okay. Mr. Cotsworth. You would like to, you're asking, we're looking at a coastal erosion hazard area permit.
Yes, sir, I'm looking to build a 40 by 60 by 50 foot barn with a widow watch so I can look at Canada.
You got some good eyesight.
You got better eyes than I got.
And barring that, I'd like to put a 12 by 20 deck.
Okay,
All right.
yeah, we were there Saturday, and, I can understand why you would want the deck, because the rock are taller than your lawn.
My wife wants it, the neighbors have it, my wife wants it. Happy wife, happy life.
But you're right on the money on that one. And I agree with you.
And per Cheryl's instructions, I called the DEC, they said no problem from their perspective.
And there is a letter of no jurisdiction included in your package.
Yeah,
Now, that drawing was just something that I sketched for, and I said, discuss this with Cheryl, just to show the DEC what the structure, where it was, et cetera, et cetera. But it'll conform to those dimensions, but it'll be gussed up, it'll have steps to it,
Sure.
and railings around it for Cheryl's instructions. And hurricane anchors. See?
just in case. Now, this guy over here, he's not against me, he's my cousin.
That doesn't mean he's not against you.
I may reconsider that, I don't
So,
know. I'm gonna let
he's
him,
not
I'm gonna let him
come
go a
up
little
here
while here.
and try to blow me out of the water.
But the good thing is, this requires no public hearings, so it's
You're good.
strictly, you can avoid that part of it.
Lose your right to be here.
Thank you. Now, the only other question I have is passing a hat to pay for it.
And I will
Doesn't
say,
the government write you out a check for it?
Yeah.
but I will say that we have approved, I mean, that's very
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's approved.
Which is why I moved down the road.
Yeah,
Down the road.
there are many along the lake shore.
No, I don't have that. Like I said, them rocks are quite a bit higher than your lawn.
Yeah.
And being the young fellers that you are, the young fella you are, you like to sit on something level and look up.
I'd like to hear that. When we had the break wall built, back in 2006, it was level with the lawn. Due to the high lake from 2017, they come in, they put all those ugly boulders up there. And it's either that or I push them in the lake. And I'm not strong enough to do that anymore.
And some of them are pretty good size.
It's a pretty good size, yeah. So that's why we built the deck so we can sit up and look down at the water.
Any other questions? If not,
I'd make a motion that the application for Anthony Cotsworth at 5678 West Potomac Beach Road for a coastal erosion hazard area permit be granted. We've got all the proper applications, DEC letter of no jurisdiction, and this LWRP inspection is scheduled.
motion made by Eddie Hayes, second by Carl Roth to approve the coastal erosion hazard area permit for Anthony Cotsworth, 5678 West Potomac Beach Road, for the construction of a deck in front of his house. So the clerk, please call the vote.
Carl Roth,
Aye.
Rocky Ellsworth,
Aye.
Norman Vaz,
Aye.
Ed Hayes,
Aye.
Jonathan Goldberg.
Aye.
Okay,
Thank you all very much.
thank you
Yes,
much
sir.
for
Appreciate it.
coming.
Happy Thanksgiving.
And see you, enjoy.